Hello boys, welcome back to another session of online biology video tutorials. And this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 8th July 2021. As we all know that we were discussing and deliberating upon chapter number 3, Plant Kingdom. And in this we have been talking about the first subgroup called Algae, and in this session we are going to discuss about second group, Bryophytes. Now you must remember that Bryophytes are fondly referred to as amphibians of plant kingdom. Normally this is in many competitions this question will be asked. Bryophytes are the amphibians of the plant kingdom. What is amphibian in animals? An animal that can survive in two habitats, like frog, on land as well as underwater. So any plant that survives in two habitats also is equivalent to an amphibian. Bryophytes can survive on land as well as they can survive in the water, moist places. So they are called the amphibians of the plant kingdom, as they require an external layer of water for dehiscence of antheridia, swimming of male gametes to reach Archegonia, protection from transpiration and desiccation as the plant body is not covered by cuticle, and supply of water to all parts through capillary action in the absence of xylem and phloem. So this is the reason why they are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. So as I said, they can live in soil but need water for sexual reproduction. They occur in damp, humid and shaded localities, as you are seeing. Even on the steps you can see, okay, on the rocks you can see, on the tree trunks you can see. And then the body is more differentiated than that of algae. In the case of algae, we said the thallophyta, thallus is there, undifferentiated plant body. In this case, there is some difference. It is thallus-like and prostrate or erect and attached to substratum by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. This is again evolution. These rhizoids are going to become well-fledged roots in future. So they lack a true root, true stem and true leaf, but they have root-like rhizoids, stem-like structures and leaf-like leaflets. So this is a sort of improvisation over algae. They may possess, as I said, root-like, leaf-like, stem-like structures. The main plant body is haploid, means one set of chromosomes, n number. It produces gametes, hence it is called gametophyte. So the main plant body is gametophyte. So example, you take Funaria, so presence of rhizoids are there, main axis, then the main one is gametophyte, gametes, leaves, okay, seta, and spore generating capsule called sporophyte. So these are the structures. And in the sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular, whether it is antheridium or archegonium. Many cells will be there. The male sex organ is called antheridium. Look at that. The male sex organ is antheridium, and that produce biflagellate antherozoids. You can see the flagella and antherozoids. Female sex organs are Archegonium with eggs, flask shaped, and produces a single egg. You can see in Mercantia, Archegonia as well as Antheridia. Mercantia, liverwort, common name. Similarly, you can see the presence of female thallus and male thallus. Now here you can see female having Archegoniophore, Antheridiophore male. Okay. And of course, Gemma cups are common. They are vegetative cups, help in vegetative reproduction. Antherozoids are released to water and meet Archegonium. So the antherozoids produced in the antheridium will require water to reach Archegonium. Hence, the travel for the journey, they require water. An antherozoid, after reaching the Archegonium, fuses with the egg to form zygote. So this is sexual reproduction. Zygotes do not undergo meiosis. Immediately, they produce a multicellular body called Sporophyte. That's why it's a 2N. So here you can see the sperms reaching the egg of the Archegonium. Zygote is formed. Formation of embryo from zygote. Embryo starts developing. You can see the mature sporophyte is being formed, and that produces spores. Each spore falls on the surface and starts growing the rhizoids. And this is how the life cycle of liverwort takes place. So once that rhizoids take place, now you can see the germination of new one. Sporophyte is not free living as we are seeing, but attached to photosynthetic gametophyte. This is important. So it is attached to photosynthetic gametophyte and it derives nourishment from it. Some cells of the sporophyte undergo meiosis to produce haploid spores. So there is some of them only, not all. Okay, they produce haploid spores, n number. These spores germinate to form gametophyte. Means sporophyte is giving rise to gametophyte. You can see male gametophyte and female gametophyte with the thallus. So the importance of bryophytes: some mosses provide food for herbaceous mammals and birds. This is the main food. And a species of Sphagnum, a moss, provide peat. Okay, Sphagnum peat. It is used as fuel. It has water holding capacity, so that it is used as a packing material for transshipment of living material. So this is the very importance of the Sphagnum. And then they are economically important because of the role in plant succession. Now there is something called primary succession, secondary, tertiary, like this. So it is one after the other. The unfertile land also becomes fertile with this. So mosses along with lichens, as I said, they will be present on rocks, on soil, on the trunk of the tree. So they decompose rocks, making the substrate suitable for growth of higher plants. So this is the very important use of bryophyte. Since mosses form dense mats on the soil, they can prevent soil erosion. So this is how bryophytes play very crucial role. And basically there are two types of bryophytes: liverworts and mosses. Now liverworts, they grow usually in moist, shady habitats such as banks of streams, as you are seeing, marshy ground, damp soil, okay, and bark of the trees, as you are seeing, and deep in the woods. The plant body is a thalloid, thallus. Example, Marcantia, we have seen just now. Thallus is dorsoventral and closely uppressed to the substrate. The leafy members have tiny leaf-like appendages in two rows on the stem-like structures. Like here you can see presence of gemme cup, thallus, undifferentiated mass, and the gemme. This is basically through asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place through fragmentation of thallus or by the formation of gemme cups, single gemma. Gemme are green, multicellular, asexual buds that develop in small receptacles called gemme cups on the thallus. The gemme are detached from the parent body and germinate to form new individuals. So this is how asexual reproduction takes place, through fragmentation of the gemme cups. What about sexual reproduction? Male and female sex organs are produced on the same or different thalli. Sporophyte is differentiated into root, seta, capsule, as we have seen. After meiosis, spores are produced within the capsule. These spores germinate to form free living gametophyte. That's what I said. Sporophyte will give rise to gametophyte will give rise to sporophyte. So you can here see the fertilization, formation of zygote, development of embryo, formation of sporophyte, and release of spores, and spores will germinate. And once it is germinated, you can see the development of thallus, rhizoids, male gametophyte as well as female antheridia as well as archegonia. Now, what about mosses? The predominant stage of the life cycle of moss is gametophyte. Now, which is dominant in this gamete? It consists of two stages. First stage is Protonema stage. Second stage is leafy stage. Now, you can see the Protonema, okay, on the thallus, and then this Protonema is expanded, that is presence of spores, pseudo-elata, stoma. Within the sporophyte, meiosis produces 1n spores. Each spore grows into 1n gametophyte plant. So the gametophyte will have meristem, foot, and the embryo develops into a slender sporophyte. You can see the development of here. And then the Archegonium as well as antheridium, male sex organ and female sex organ. See, antheridium produces sperms, Archegonium produces egg. So predominantly the Protonema stage, it develops directly from a spore. Spore is going to develop into a Protonema. It is a creeping green branched and frequently filamentous stage, as you are seeing. Leafy stage, it develops from the secondary Protonema as a lateral bud. They consist of upright, slender axis bearing spirally arranged leaves, as you are seeing here. They are attached to soil through multicellular and branched rhizoids. You can see the presence of multicellular branched rhizoids. So this stage bears, that is, the sex organs, namely the antheridia and archegonia. So mosses, through fragmentation and budding, basically they undergo vegetative reproduction, and the secondary Protonema is responsible for that. And sexual reproduction mosses, it is basically antheridia and archegonia. They are produced at the apex of leaf shoots, as you are seeing here. It is the apex top, and after fertilization, zygote develops to a sporophyte. You can see the presence of sporophyte having a foot, seta, and capsule. The sporophyte in mosses is more elaborate than that in liverworts. The capsule contains spores. Spores are formed after meiosis. Mosses have an elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. So the examples of mosses, you can see Finaria, as we were talking about this, capsule, and there is a slender branch, tube-like structure, seta, and the leaves. And in a sphagnum, you can see the presence of lot many green branches. Then you got in the branches two different types of branches: archegonial, female branch, antheridial, male branch. And then of course there is paleotrichum, very commonly seen on the grounds, marshy areas. So overall, bryophytes are non-vascular terrestrial plants of most habitats, which are characterized by multicellular diploid sporophyte. Remember, sporophyte is diploid. It lives as a parasite or an independent multicellular haploid gametophyte. They are called amphibians of the plant kingdom, as they require an external layer of water for dehiscence of antheridia. Plus, male gametes have to swim and reach archegonia. So that is the reason why they are called amphibians of the plant kingdom. The main plant body is gametophytic, and it is having thallus, thalloid. It lacks true roots, stem, leaves, but it may possess root-like, stem-like, leaf-like structures. Sex organs are multicellular, and they are in the jacketed. Male sex organ is called antheridium. Female sex organ is called archegonium. Antheridium produce male gametes called antherozoids. Archegonium produces single egg. Fertilization occurs with the agency of water. The antherozoids are released into water, where they swim and come in contact with archegonium. An antherozoid enter archegonium, fuses with the egg to produce zygote. Zygotes do not undergo reduction division immediately. They produce multicellular body called sporophyte, as we were telling it. They produce the multicellular body sporophyte, as we are seeing here. And some cells of the sporophyte undergo meiosis and produce haploid spores. These spores germinate to produce gametophyte. So basically the sporophyte alternates with gametophyte. Hence we say alternation of generation takes place in bryophytes. And they are basically divided into two, that is liverworts and mosses. So the liverworts come under a class Hepaticopsida. Hornworts come under Anthoceratopsida, and mosses come under Bryopsida. So basically, gametophytic plant body, it is a thallus in both the liverworts and hornworts, and in mosses, thalloid Protonium and leafy gametophyte. This is the main difference. And the sporophyte, in case of liverworts, it is differentiated into foot, seta, and capsule. Somewhere we were showing it, three portions, okay, like the three parts we were showing here. See, foot, seta, and capsule. And in the case of hornworts, that is Anthoceratopsida, it is differentiated into foot, short meristematic region, and capsule. Whereas in mosses, that is Bryopsida, it is differentiated into foot, seta, and capsule. Now there is something called elaters. Generally they are present in liverworts, but in mosses they are absent. Then sporogenous tissue, it develops from endothecium, it develops from antheridium, whereas in mosses it develops from outer layer of endothecium and inner layer forms sterile columella. So this is a